Hi. Hello, this is Rosie. Rosie Haas from Natural Neighborhood, Natural Activist Journal, and daughter of this lady over here.
Florence Haas from
Florence.
Brooklyn, New York.
Florence Haas from Brooklyn, New
But
York.
however, I've lived in Connecticut much longer, which you cannot take the Brooklyn out of the
I think
person.
she's channeling something because her eyes are closed.
Well, because the sun is in my
The sun is
eyes,
in our eyes. Yeah, that's why
and,
I'm wearing
and my
sunglasses.
eyes are dry eyes. That's why they're wet all the time.
All right, listen, I'll come over this way. Good, I can frame you. Frame you, I can frame you! Ha ha ha. So, Ma, I'm going to give you a little quiz.
Go ahead.
I'm going to give her a quiz of all the stuff that I've learned.
Don't aggravate me, though.
Oh, I shouldn't aggravate her. All the things that I've learned over the last few years regarding what it means to restore the Republic. Okay, here's my little quiz. Who's Ron Paul? Oh, the fast answers, quick one sentence answers.
He's an obstetrician gynecologist that was running for president.
Okay, who would you vote for if you could vote for president?
Ron Paul.
Okay. What explain to me what it means to be a Democrat and a Republican.
Well, the Democrats originally represented the working class, and the Republicans represented the upper class.
Oh, you almost said rich.
Upper class. It's the same thing.
But isn't that a little simplistic? Didn't you once tell me that the Democrats were originally the war party and not the Republicans?
Well, they claimed they were the war party. That didn't, because they were in power so many years that they didn't have anybody else to decide whether to go to war or not. It was kind of inflicted on them. But then when the Republicans took over, things occurred and they went right along. You know, the Iraq War, which.
Oh, that was one sentence. Okay, all right. Oh wait, we got to end that because these are quick. These are quick questions and answers. Okay. Let me ask you this: do you know what does it mean to be nanny stated?
Nanny.
Stated.
I never heard that expression.
Well, what happens if you grow up in a nanny state? What's that mean?
That means that somebody maybe is trying to protect you, and that's what a nanny does, and watches as you grow, you know, and encourages you. That's what nannies do, anyway.
Okay, but you know what? It's actually become kind of a negative connotation because it implies that the government is taking over everything under the pretense of having to take care of you, but also to keep you safe.
Oh, well, that went way back to Abraham Lincoln when he said, government of the people, for the people, by the people.
In one way, I could see how you would think that, but there's also...
That's what he thought.
Right. How about the fact that government is of the TSA? You know what the TSA is?
I could say something that would be irreverent, so I won't even open my mouth.
Oh, go for it.
No. The first word of T stands for tushy. SA is up in the air.
I call it the TNA.
Okay.
But anyway. But now here's one of the things that I've been working on, and you know this. I'm always talking to you about this.
Yes.
I always tell you about, we always talk about the Second Amendment because it seems to be ingrained in the brains of most Americans and a lot of American Jews.
And myself included.
Yes, that
I
it actually...
do not like guns.
Okay, now that makes sense because I don't either. And a lot of people that do not like guns. Some people do love guns. But even if you don't like guns, you have to start to examine today why the government is so hell-bent on snatching our guns, or not mine, but whoever has guns, snatching guns from people. And
well, I don't understand why they do.
Right.
Because it's an object. They sign for it or something, don't they? Do when you purchase a gun? Do you have to declare anything?
Well, that's part of that's part of the issue is that it's a right to have it and to protect yourself. Even I believe in the Torah, as Rabbi David Ben-Dori explained, that you are supposed to defend yourself, and that's a natural human right. it's spelled out in the Torah as well. So in other words, when if the government decides that they can have the guns and the people can't defend themselves and they can't have the guns, doesn't that put people in a position of...
It's very one-sided.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Because we never really discussed this, because we only get as far as you saying you don't like guns. We never really discussed the finer
I
points.
do not like guns.
And you know what? I don't either, because it's not something...
Very often a child can get a hold of it and do some terrible damage.
Right.
And they have done.
But now you watched the film, I showed it to you, Mom, called No Guns for Jews, remember?
Yeah.
Didn't that really, like, startle you a bit? Like, the information in that?
Yeah.
It was enlightening. What did you learn?
That in certain instances that you have no recourse but to protect yourself. You can't allow people to, it's like this kind of a one-sided issue. You have
That's
to,
really amazing. See, now, if we never discussed it further, I would have always thought that you were just very adamant about shutting down the Second Amendment. I would have thought that you didn't even know how to have an in-depth conversation or thoughtful, mindful one. But I'm surprised. But you know what? You do. You always seem to be flexible about things. Like, when people explain something to you, more, in no uncertain terms.
Well, when I attended high school, we had the majority of the teachers were what you would call liberals, and so therefore they discussed many issues with us. Nothing was they weren't adamant about things, and so therefore we obtained that kind of a reaction the students did.
Right.
For some reason or other, my high school, James Madison, was supposed to be, in a sense it was experimental. They were preparing you for college, and they were very broad-minded in many areas. That they wouldn't teach certain things in the other high schools, and we were able to learn a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So now, what year did you graduate from high school?
Oh my God. I graduated when I was 16 years old.
And so you were born in 23, so about 1940. Wow.
Because I'd skipped 2 grades.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, this is good to have this little talk about, because you were raised by parents. Your father was Republican and your mother was a Democrat.
Yeah, and when they left the premises, as they left the door, they knocked each other's vote right out.
Right. But you have always been a staunch Democrat. I mean, you used to say to me, I'm in this order. I'm a Democrat first, then a woman or something like that, and then
No. I didn't even bother with a woman.
Oh.
I was born a Democrat.
You didn't even bother with a woman.
Everybody used to get a kick out of that.
It was self-evident that you were a woman.
Yes, I was born a woman.
Sorry that I had to make you...
I was born
I'm sorry that I've had to make you blink the whole time. The sun's right in your eyes. Okay, we'll wrap this up. Anyway, this is an interesting discussion. It's really nice. I'm so glad that my mom is with me in this time in which we're having an awakening. This is so important to me that my mom is here witnessing everything that she ever thought to be true to be something other than that. And this is exciting that she's here with me in this journey. I'm really happy, Mom.
But, I often think of my brother-in-law Ted and how he tried to help the American Indians, and they were the first Americans, and somehow or other they had such difficulty. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. People that are first, somehow or other along the way, they seem to be, what would I say?
That they
were discriminated against
yes,
very often. The American Indian was they put them on reservations.
Yep.
And that was a horror. And then, as far as the Jewish people, they were the first, along with the Muslims, the first monotheistic people, and they became a minority and were chased around from pillar to post. And I never understand.
And now it's all of us. Humans are
chased about.
Yeah, the whole human race. Haha. Well, we're not going to let them win, are we, Mom? We're gonna come up. We're going to come up from the ashes. Rise like a phoenix? Is that what they say?
Well, but I'll tell you one thing. When I was growing up, there was a definite division between religions, and you couldn't get a job in a bank or well, where else were you? Oh, insurance companies. And you weren't admitted to schools like Yale University because they had a quota system, which meant to keep out black people and Jewish people.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, that began to change because they realized if you give them that opportunity, it didn't turn out to be bad.
Well, that's good. Okay. All right. I just hope this is going.